Hello, everybody, and welcome back to MISADVENTUROUS, the show where we beat old women to death, smuggle parakeets in our pockets, and force-feed swamp dwellers mysterious green substances. I am your host, Dungeon Master, Newland Brad Smith, the Captain to Captain Violence, Esquire III, joined, of course, by the fabulous Mark Smee.
Hello there. I've just finished work as well, so I'm in a great mood, and I wonder how that will affect Bark's behavior today.
Mark attends a store and immediately kills all of the customers.
Oh, could we do a bit where we go to a department store and then Bark accidentally murders someone?
Accidentally.
And does he look like your boss?
Giant quotes. And of course, chiming in now with the wonderful smooth tones.
You're never gonna let me live down the fact that I beat an old lady to death.
Never. Absolutely. I keep a little scorecard of you guys' behavior over here. Like, let me see. What do I have? Bark Flea one time lied about taking the cookies from the cookie jar when he was a wee lad.
Bark Flea, you asshole. Why would you do that?
Why was that established as canon?
Lucian stood up his first date.
Of course.
Unfortunately, our wonderful guest, the illustrious Johnny Atma, cannot join us for this session because he's in the process of doing some very important moving type stuff going on up in life, you know, moving on up. Last time on MISADVENTUROUS, our heroes walked down the crossroads to discover the Ruby Swamp and decided that a detour away from Rodania would be a wise decision, so they found what any adventurer finds when he takes a detour: bonus quests! Now they're in a swamp. Lucian has been halfway swallowed by a giant man crocodile.
Gross.
And Bark is worried that his friend might be dead soon. Raven the Shade was swallowed by the shadows around him, taking him to the Shadow Realm where he met Maximilian Pegasus, so he won't be joining us for this time. Commence playing with one another again.
So is this thing's uvula within arm's reach?
Yes, you are currently in the mouth of the crocodilius. You are staring at its swinging, ugly uvula.
Jab cross the uvula.
Roll your attack, Mitchell.
21.
You strike out with your first jab, sending the uvula waggling back and forth against the back of the throat. But you have a secondary attack, I believe.
Of course.
Because no punch stands alone.
27.
And again, even without your base underneath you, you swing your right hand, sending the uvula thwapping about inside of it. Let me roll something. Gross! Mitchell, before you roll your damage, you feel the body underneath you lurch. And the jaw opens up reflexively despite, well, pardon me, the jaw would have opened up reflexively. Instead, you can clearly feel a rush of hot air moving past you. As you can tell, this thing is about to hork all over you.
Gross.
Unfortunately, because you, Mark, used a paralysis-inducing attack right before
That was me.
Mitchell did his move.
I did that.
The gator cannot open his mouth to let Mitchell go, and instead vomits in between his teeth and Mitchell all over the place.
Sick. You're sick.
Now you can roll your damage, sir.
That's 16 damage, sir. And I'm still in its mouth, right?
You currently cannot see because your face is covered in, well, ugh.
I'm gonna take a minor action to wipe my face off.
You take a minor action, just slapping the slop off of your face. Now able to open your eyes. The first thing you notice is, what the hell? You're surrounded by shoes inside this thing's mouth.
Any of them my size?
You pull a standard pair of traveling shoes out of the pile of shoes. They actually do look your size. So you pocket them. Those weren't sanitary, and you're pretty sure somebody's foot was still in one of those.
Pumped up kicks.
MISADVENTUROUS, everybody. That's going to be in the next intro.
And I'm going to punch it again. Rate of blows. 21.
You strike out your jab again, hitting into the now swollen uvula.
That's 19.
And you strike again, 19. It thwaps against the thing and swings back. You see this thing is doubled in size from the swelling of you punching it. Let me roll for this poor, poor creature that chose to try and eat you. Mitchell, you hear it again. It vomits once more.
I'm gonna vomit in a minute.
And, Mitchell.
Yeah.
You're wearing a hat now. It is actually rather stylish.
Anyways.
Oh, that makes it up. As long as it's stylish.
It took 16 damage.
The uvula of the creature that you are inside of now has been pretty much popped by your intense fist of fury. Mark, while you were watching this creature, you saw it hork up violently, not once, but twice, sending a cascade of greenish yellow vomit across the ground and a whole lot of jewelry that slipped in between its teeth. It is still frozen in place, pathetically drooling blood all over itself with half of your friend hanging out of its mouth. Gross. Disgusting is definitely a word you could use to describe it.
Vile.
And you only have a moment to think about this before the gator, who emerged from the water, starts lumbering out and heading towards you. He reaches up, cracking a branch off one of the crimson leaf trees and says, "I'm gonna smash you dead, city boy," and rushes you, Mark. He swings up the branch, trying to bring it down on your skull.
Oh, wow.
And it cracks over your head. Unfortunately, you couldn't deflect it in time, and he deals 7 damage.
7.
The branch breaks after it hits you, becoming useless. The crocodile were-monster cackles at your pain.
Everything about these creatures are gross, I say while wearing a fancy puke-covered hat.
You're a true gentleman, Mitchell.
Yeah.
Speaking of gentlemen, the creature that currently has you in its jaws is trying to recover its constitution after you pounded it in the throat. It fails. It doesn't puke again, thank goodness, but instead it still just can't seem to quite move and starts somewhat sobbing to itself. It can't do anything. Not break you in half with its giant jaws, not even vomit. It can't move, and it's whimpering like a baby. The smaller one of the two looks up at its giant companion and says, "Oh, don't start that, you big sissy." Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Now you suck it up and start chomping on that boy so we can get him back tomorrow. And now, Mark, it is your turn.
Excellent. Just so I understand, so I'm basically stood between the two now. So I've got the big guy in front of me and the other guy who's come out of the swamp.
Yes, one is standing in front of you and one is standing to the right of you. The smaller one still has a sword jammed in his back from when Johnny attacked him in the last episode of Misadventurous.
What I'd like to do then is drunken monkey against the smaller guy.
Oh, very nice. Breaking out the big guns. Roll your attack, sir.
Oh, a flipping 20.
You got a crit? All right, Mark, you look at the smaller of the two creatures and immediately assume your drunken stance. This confuses him for going, what the hell are you doing, boy? As you continue to weave and wob before you strike out with your fist. Blam! Right into his ugly ringed nose. Maximum damage on your attack. And unfortunately, you did not knock his nose ring out, but you did knock his head for a loop. Oh, dang it!
What I like about this attack is the effect of it says you slide the target 1 square. The target then makes a melee basic attack as a free action against one enemy of your choice.
Oh, so after you punch him, he stumbles, I'm assuming, towards his large friend.
Yeah, exactly.
He stumbles toward the larger of the two going, "What? Oh, how dare you!" And he reaches around, grabbing another, what seems to be a branch from the ground, but is actually a large bone that he swings at his relative's leg. Which he critically fails on.
Oh no.
He swings for his relative's leg, hitting the massive creature, but its weight causes him to slip in the mud once more. Whoop, and fall ass first into the soggy ground. He is laying there cursing you and trying to get his sight back as the rubs the splattered dirt out of his eyes.
Good job, Mark.
Oh, problem.
Mitchell's turn, who is now wearing a fancy hat inside the mouth of the giant crying gator creature.
Gonna wipe my eyes again as a minor action.
Not much to see in here other than, you know, the crooked, nasty teeth and rotting gums of this gator monster.
Speaking of those, I'm gonna punch his teeth.
Oh, okay. Punch the gator in the teeth.
I mean, I am wearing gloves.
They're 5-inch long teeth.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna, you know, like, down on the teeth. Like,
So you're gonna try and hit him in his nasty gums.
yeah, let's go.
If you roll high enough on attack, fine, I'll allow it.
I wouldn't just hammer fist the top of his teeth. That is
Oh,
a
but
really
by the
bad
way,
idea.
when you start considering what to do about this thing, you can see that it is slowly moving its jaw from side to side. You can hear snapping and popping because Mark's turn ended, which means its movement is returning.
Ah, so that means his jaw is not nearly as locked up, right?
Not nearly.
And that Uvla is completely popped.
Well, it's beat up as hell.
Yeah.
He probably can't feel anything in it.
I'm considered grabbed?
You're considered grabbed, so you can roll athletics or acrobatics to try and escape his jaws.
Athletics or raw strength?
Yeah, it would be athletics to try and escape. You would straight up pry his mouth open God of War style.
26.
You grip into the nasty, mushy gums of the gator monster, slowly gaining some ground. A couple of inches, you're shuddering against its powerful jaw muscles as you shove your foot in there. And you are now standing completely upright, stretched out inside the tip of the gator's mouth.
Let it down a bit and slip out.
You jump free. Whoop! You see the creature's mouth snap shut. It holds its mouth closed, continuing to whimper to itself.
Now, what action was that to get out?
That escape was a move action. What are you going to do out now that you have escaped? You're now standing next to the creature.
I shall punch it in the face.
All right, roll your attack, sir, against the crying giant creature.
Let's use a not jab cross here.
Not jab cross in my misadventure. More likely than you think.
I'm gonna use disrupting advance.
You look at the big simpering giant creature and put up your dukes, readying your right hand.
Well, that's a 20.
You roll another crit. You rear forward with the power of your star punch. Disrupting advance. Crashing into the creature's stomach. Boom! Because its face is actually too high to reach with a cross.
That's fine.
What's your maximum damage?
24.
24 damage! Pooh! You see the creature hork over again. Vomiting blood over as it backs up into the swamp water away from you.
The target is pushed 2 squares, and he is slowed until the end of my next turn.
He looks so absolutely crushed at this point. Now chest deep in dirty swamp water as he's cowering away from you guys, his own blood pooling into the murky liquid.
And I will tip my hat at him.
Magator. The smaller of the two wrestles his way back onto his feet, wipes his eyes free, looks around and goes, where'd my cousin go? And he looks over in the swamp water. What are you doing, you chicken? He hit me, Jim. He hit you? Just hit you? Yeah, in the belly, real hard like, and I can't move. Well, hang on there, cousin. Let's get meta for a second. What's your health at right now? I'm past blooded, Jim. He then looks at the two of you and goes, nope, breaks his standard action and leaps into the water like an Olympic diver. And you can see him swing away like an eel deeper into the swamp. The other one goes, no, don't leave it yet. They have both fled.
High fives, I think. Oh, wow.
You probably don't want to touch me. I'm disgusting right now.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
He is covered in what appears to be a yellowish-green bile.
Gross.
So now you two have entered the swamp, and you have defeated a pair of Gator Man cousins that have run in fear of you.
I will never get the smell out.
I can't resist the reference.
How clean is the swamp water compared to the vomit on me?
The swamp water is mostly mud, whereas the vomit that's on you is entirely vomit.
You know what you should do? Just shake really fast.
As much as I think that would work, let's go find like a proper river not in the swamp.
One of you would have to roll nature to navigate these swamps to try and find a river.
Shit.
You could try to just exit the swamp, but when you two look around, you realize, wait a minute, all the landmarks have changed.
Son of a bitch.
Did the landmarks change, or did we just get lost?
As you were walking in, you followed a path, and you were next to that path when you started the fight. The path itself is gone. The trees that you remember being there are there no longer. Even the rocks appear to have all been shifted in size and moved up and down inside the dirt.
Oh, we totally just got Mirkwood forested, didn't we?
I guess we can roll nature to probably find a fresher source of water.
Yeah, should we both give that a go, or what?
You could both try it individually, sure.
That'll be a 14.
You got a 16.
Lucian, you begin using what you understand about this swamp, following the way the water filtrates through the different matters of plant, in order to try to understand where to go. However, Bark's keen senses and, inherent instincts about this place eventually lead you to sort of a outlying water mass that's more of a marsh, with less of the overhanging crimson trees. The water here is indeed much cleaner. You can hear the sound of frogs chirruping and see some herons feeding in the distance.
And now it sure as hell won't be that clean any longer. I'm gonna take off some of the important stuff, venturing gear, things like that, and I'm going to check the water to see if there's nothing terrifying in it. 11.
You peer into the water with a somewhat average level of perception, just your eyes, and you notice immediately there's a corn pipe floating in the water.
Question, what's a corn pipe?
It is a pipe made out of a cob of corn and a stick.
Okay, cool.
And I'm just going to stick to the shallower bits and clean myself off from this vomit.
Bark, what will you be doing while your friend tries to clean up?
Whistling.
You whistle pleasantly into the afternoon air. Mitchell, what's your passive perception?
14.
Never mind. What's your passive perception, Mark?
22.
Bark, while you are whistling pleasantly, you notice that corn pipe went missing from the water. You don't remember picking it up. You also notice that your friend sitting there washing away, doing his business, is being approached by a slowly moving crowd of bubbles from almost every direction.
I guess I'd immediately warn him. Like, Lucian, check the bubbles.
Jump out of the water.
Roll athletics to jump.
Oh god, that's a 29.
Engaging your leg day. You leap out of the water. Roll acrobatics to land as you launch yourself out of the water. There is now a nude elf standing on the beach.
That will be an 18 total.
It's all for the ladies this episode, isn't it?
It's all for the ladies here on MISADVENTUROUS. You land with all the grace and dexterity of a fighter. So in proper boxing form, you are now standing there ready to fight, wearing nothing but your gloves. As you two are standing there on the beach, you see that the bubbles have stopped moving towards where Mitchell was and are settling down back into the mud.
No balls! Won't fight me. Puts back on clothes.
Mark, what's your comment?
We should probably just avoid whatever that is. It's probably like 6 foot piranhas or something.
Dry myself off, put my stuff back on.
And as you are getting dressed, you notice that the red light around here is strange. It almost feels warm, like it's generating some kind of energy through the leaves.
I don't know shit about magic.
Do you have an Arcana skill, Mark?
Right, it says Arcana, then next to it Intelligence, and then next to that 1.
Right. Despite the magical occurrences that you can't perceive, you do hear something off in the distance. A harmonica wailing off into the swamp air.
I'll tell you what, Lucian, you feel like checking out that harmonica? I mean, it's done us pretty good so far, checking out things that we hear in the distance.
What harmonica? I can't hear shit.
Lucian apparently has some sort of clogging in his ears.
Water.
Actually, when you squeeze your ear out, you find that there is a buildup of that gross bile in there.
Ew.
There's no need for that.
I've offended Mark's sensibilities, it would seem.
All right, now I can
What it
hear
was, it was
things.
just sound effects you were making when you were
That was
doing
Mitchell.
the
I ain't
vomit.
taking the blame on that.
So you tell me you want us to go to the sound of the harmonica.
Yeah. I like musical people.
You do know that the guy who was actually pretty nice to you guys and warned you about his family in the swamp was a musician.
I'm gonna take 5 minutes to, you know, get all the encounter powers I used back.
And your health.
And my health. And sure.
All right, after resting for a minute, you two are free to explore back into the swamp towards the sound of the harmonica. As you two travel through the swamp, you end up wading through deep, recessed areas of blackened water, climbing up over rotten logs, and you actually come across a strange abandoned shack at one point. But beyond that, you find a lake. A real, honest-to-God lake in the middle of this forsaken, messed-up mash of swamp plants. And on that lake, you can see a house floating on a makeshift barge.
Where's the harmonica music coming from? Is it the barge?
From inside the house, it would seem. You can see a lot of stuff here. Along the shore, there's all sorts of fishing traps and things laid out. Deeper into the lake, you can clearly see that there have been nets laid out for certain kinds of fish.
Is there anything we can use to cross the lake, like a boat or anything?
That is the strange part. You don't notice a boat anywhere around here. You might be able to use a rotten log or just swim using athletics if you felt that ballsy.
I don't know, man. There was 6 foot piranhas in that water.
You don't know what the fuck was in that water.
I'm gonna call it
Yeah, defo piranhas.
definitely 6 foot piranhas.
Electric turtles.
If it assuages you somewhat, the water here in the lake is crystal clear. You can see straight to the bottom.
I mean, do we really want to go over there? Like,
What are we
seriously?
gonna do if we don't? I mean, could be anything over there.
I mean, like,
When was the last time you had someone really decent to eat? It could be like a really nice person who could feed us a bunch of nice stuff. You know, just being completely optimistic and basing that on absolutely nothing.
I'm just gonna like to point out the last time you said that everything was going to be optimistic and hunky dory, it legitimately wasn't, and there was a witch that was trying to murder the shit out of us. That had
fair
really
point,
bad taste
fair
in
point.
hair.
Mark, you can currently smell something amazing coming from the
All
barge
right.
house.
How amazing are we talking? I mean, like floating off the ground, like.
We're talking like it would immediately yank the attention of your nose away from the rest of what your body was doing and give you the ability to hover.
Oh, nice.
Well, then it could just hover across the water.
Maybe if it ceased your argument, I don't know. I'm all up for cartoon physics now and again.
Smells delicious over there, Lucian. It's probably like beans and sausage on toast or something. It smells great.
What it currently smells like is fried. It smells like something fried and fried really well.
A fried egg.
Beans and
Spices,
sausage on toast.
some type of
Sorry, I'm just
Feel
listing
British.
things I'd like to eat right now.
some type of shellfish, frog meat sautéed well in a decent sauce. a whole myriad of delectable aromas.
Oh, come on, Lucian. What? Maybe we can get over there without getting wet. We just like grab a couple of like tree trunks. You could probably punch over a tree. We'll lash them together with something and then just paddle over. Oh, go on, go on.
How do you want to get across?
Well,
Does it look like we could swim it? Like, how far is it?
About 20 feet.
20 feet. You could probably jump it.
I don't know.
Right,
Actually,
right.
yeah, with you guys' athletics checks, that's a legitimate possibility.
I tell you what, yeah, this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to use a skill called Wind Fiore.
Oh.
Is it Wind Fiore? Here we go. Yeah, the wind carries you aloft. You can fly up to your speed at any point during this movement.
Then you can. All right, Mark. You center your being. Leap across. Leap off the ground. And as your powers take hold of you, giving you the ability to soar like the crane.
That is not fair. And I'm going to
As
jump.
you fly across the lake over to the barge house.
And I'm going to roll athletics to jump, preparing myself if I have to swim.
This could be brilliant.
That'll be a 18.
You get a decent running start, Mitchell. Activating your powerful legs as you reach the edge of the lake. You jump and you make it almost there. Splash! While you are in the water, you can clearly see very large catfish swimming around at the bottom of the lake, along with a small sea of human bones.
Come up. Fucking hate my dog.
Mark, you are now on the edge of the barge house, seeing your friend surface from the lake.
I guess I have to extend a hand.
Reach up.
Where'd you get one of those? I thought you had paws.
Oh, yeah, extend a paw.
Ignore that, I'm just being a dick. Now that you two are both on the barge house, that powerful aroma fills your senses.
I'm going to look at you and I'm going to say, I would like to point out that there's a lot of human bones down there.
The delicious smell is people. Do you think?
Probably.
Actually, that's frog and catfish gumbo, says a alligator-looking creature leaning out of the window.
Yeah.
Smells delicious.
Thank you. Wait a minute. This creature leans out, blinking its semi-blind eyes at you. Oh, you strangers, is you not?
Yep.
Huh? You visitors?
Seems like we want to be. Ain't that right, Park?
Oh, yes, please.
And she wants to be visitor, but they is not visitor. Hang on now. And you see the thing jump down. Opens the door of the shack. And waddles out. It's about chest height to you, Mitchell. Very plump with short limbs. It smells you. You a friend of Enos's?
I wouldn't use the word friend.
It smells you both some more. Smell like blood, vomit, shoe leather. Well, I reckon you must be all right. And it starts to go back into the house.
Well, with your permission, ma'am.
Sir, thank you. The creature says as it waddles back into its very cushy stool by a large bubbling cauldron.
I know nothing about elegant agendas, my bad. Head inside.
You're now both inside in what appears to be a very spacious barge house. The ceiling is quite high, about 11 feet. You are surrounded by animal trophies, remains, and family photos.
No.
The creature appears inside that is cooking the meal has invited you to come in. What are you going to do, guys?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say no to the invitation.
Yeah, sure, I'll come inside. I'd like to ask him about the animal trophies as well, if he's...
Oh, that there's just Paul's favorite sport. He like collecting mementos, you see. That one over there from a dire boar, what he found here about a month ago. That one over there, that's the arm of some adventuring fella that thought he was gonna kill him and take his prized possession.
That's interesting.
Typical,
Enough.
isn't it?
Oh yeah, we don't take kind to adventuring type around here. We prefer tourists, vacations, that sort of thing. The more tender as he continues to stir the giant pot of stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine they would be more tender.
He said the boys out going hunting around, with the kid, but they probably diss them. They don't like the kids that much.
No.
Paul's out doing his thing. He ain't gonna be back for like. The creature looks up at the wall and realizes, I cannot see the clock anymore, and I don't know why I keep looking there. What time is it? He asks you two.
I'm gonna look at the clock. What time is it?
It is currently 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Like, he won't be back for an hour.
Well, that sounds good.
But until then, there's little old me. Little cookie here alone, cooking as usual. I don't bother with all that hunting and fighting stuff. No, I know what I'm good at, and that's this, as he motions to the giant pot of boiling meat and fish bones that still just smell so good.
I'm gonna respond with, at least you know. At least you're well aware of what you can do.
As he pulls out a small spoon. Would you like a taste there, stranger?
Of course I would.
Offers it to you. Roll fortitude.
Fortitude, you say?
Pardon me, it's an endurance check.
Endurance, you say? That'll be 16, you say?
You drop. You are unconscious.
Yeah.
Mark, your friend has dropped unconscious.
Yes.
Cookie.
Oh, look at that. I better go and just go, I suppose. I would like to pick Lucian up if I can.
You reach down to pick up Lucian, and you can.
Yeah.
He doesn't exceed your weight limit. And you pick him
Excellent.
up. And I guess you start sidling towards the door?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, man.
Question, are you
It's
going?
been quite a long day. Oh.
Mark, you have backed up into something solid.
All right, I'm going to not turn around, but just reach my hand backwards and like start patting the thing like, oh.
You reach up above your head, and you feel what appears to be damp fabric.
Oh. I guess now I'll turn around and just make sure, just in case I'm jumping to conclusions.
You turn around, and what you see in front of you is a 10-foot tall, 8-foot wide block of a man-gator wearing overalls. He has a bear in his left hand.
Right. I wanted.
How dare,
Can I-
old paw, says Cookie.
Oh man. I want to do it. Oh man, I want to do some kind of check just to see what this guy's sort of temperament is. What see if I can.
Roll perception then.
Okay. Try and find perception on my list of things. Oh yeah, that's the wisdom 12. Right, cool. Oh flip! I rolled a 2, so it's 14.
You can tell by the walls that are covered in both trophies and family portraits that this guy is a very down-home sort of dude. Probably really likes his kids and his family and cares for them by working with his hands, which is also pretty apparent by the fact he's jacked as hell. He eats pretty well because of that giant stomach that's staring you in the face, and you'd assume he'd have to considering how fucking big he is.
Yeah.
And the, well, intense scowl on his face probably lets you know that he doesn't like unexpected visitors.
All right. Well, hello. You must be Pops. I was just talking to a cook over here who was just stopping very, very briefly. I just got to go now because my friend here, he's not feeling too well.
Tub. That's Mr. Tub to you.
Very nice to meet you, but I have to go now.
And you try to get around him, realizing that he is so large that you actually don't know how he fit through the normal front door, but he is definitely blocking it with his mass.
Oh, excuse me. I can't seem to get to the door, Lucian. Lucian, there's a...
As you say to your unconscious Weekend at Bernie's friend. Cookie appears to be humming to himself as he continues to stir the pot. Looks up at Paul and says, "They smell like kinfolk blood, Paul." Paul looks down at you, Mark. Mitchell, you can roll for your consciousness.
Oh, cool. 18.
You wake up. You're a little groggy, but you're awake now.
Sure was delicious.
As he looks at you too, he says, "Why are you in my swamp?"
Wrong turn at Albuquerque.
You hear Cookie behind you begin laughing. Oh, they said they lost, is they? Oh, they don't know how bad they done. Paul looks up at Cookie, and even though Cookie cannot see, he immediately goes quiet when Paul does this. I'll just keep stirring this. That's yeah, that's what I'll do, Paul. I'll keep cooking. And then looks down at you two again. Says, "Only let two kind of people in my swamp: kin and food. Which one is you?"
Kin? Oh, God, kin.
First things first, Bark, could you let me down?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah.
You say kid. Paul gets an expression on his face of complete and utter shock, but stands up and goes, "Kid, you mean that?"
Yes.
He then gets an expression on his face that's probably the closest thing you can think an alligator could do to smiling ear to ear, considering he has no visible ears. Slaps his knee and goes, "Woo-hoo! Oh, get out the good pots, Cookie!" And he picks you guys up like rag dolls. "We are gonna have us a wedding." Cookie immediately sets to ringing a giant bell. Ding, 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 ding. And you hear all sorts of hooping and hollering coming out of the swamps. Ding, 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 ding. "We're gonna get everybody here. Ooh, Anime Ball's gonna be so happy," as he sets you both down at the table.
Oh, this is brilliant.
This is the
Hey,
post
Lucian, just have a quick word here. The next time it looks like I'm going to open my mouth, could you just smack me on the back of the head? That would be brilliant.
Which we will have to do next time on MISADVENTUROUS.